Girls Talk, Episode 1. This is loosely based off of the blog I wrote called Why Can't Any Group, Crew, or Family Stay Together in the Music Industry? I'm going to give you guys 7 reasons. 5 comes directly from that blog. The other 2 are from me, living a little more and seeing a little bit more and coming up with the extra 2 that I think would hit home, especially for this top 7 list. So, basically what I discussed in the blog is me growing up and seeing these like heavyweight hip hop groups just look like they're unstoppable. Nobody can contain them. They'll be around for 20, 30 years. They'll be creating these other small groups that'll stay around for 20 and 30 years after. And none of them did that. Like zero. Now you have your Jay-Z's who broke away from Rockefeller and, became a billionaire, started this huge conglomerate, but it's not with that team, so to speak. It's not with those artists. Of course, he still has some people around him that were around him then, but it's definitely not the same crowd. You got 50 Cent doing big things, TV, movies, but it's not with the G Unit family that, he started his career with. So that's what I want to discuss. Like, why did that happen? How did it happen? So I'll get right into the list. Number 1. Money distribution. Now, of course, most of us have all worked for a company before. People at the top make the money. It's understood. But the people at the bottom cannot be making nothing. The people at the bottom cannot hope that you give them some money so they can eat. Waiting on a per diem, if you're in a group that big, that popular, that known around the world, you shouldn't have any, people just bottom feeders. You shouldn't have anybody waiting for, money so they can eat. That's just ridiculous. So money distribution is definitely the number 1 reason. I would say these are not in no particular order, but yeah, I would say money distribution is one. So what can you do to fix that? Well, I mean, how many times have, I would say, if you work for a big company or if you run a big company, considered the other side? So if you're the CEO, have you considered whoever would you consider the person at the bottom? So an intern. So an intern, they're not exactly in, I guess they're working their way in, but if you pay for their lunch one day, do you feel that you did them a service for that day, that month, that year? If you are an intern, what do you look to the CEO for? Are they supposed to be spending out of the, I guess more money than they should be spending just to impress you, to show you, I guess this is what you can have, basically dangling that, that prize in front of your eyes and making you chase it? Or should they be teaching you something else? And we'll get into that later on in the list. So money distribution, I think it should be shared. There's no reason why a company should be making let's say $1 million to keep the math easy, and nothing trickles down but about 200,000 of that. And then you have taxes and expenses. It becomes nothing very quickly. Number 2, egotistical leaders. So this can go into number 1 also, but egotistical leaders is, I'm the reason you're here. So why do I have to distribute my money? Why do I have to give you more than I feel you're worth? Why should I do that? I'm the reason you're here. I think it's a terrible way of thinking. I think that just someone being around you doesn't suffice. It's not a prize, I would say. Yes, of course, they're learning from you. They're seeing things they wouldn't have seen elsewhere or otherwise. But to make someone on your team feel as if you're their gift is not something that I would say would go towards the strength of actually keeping that crew or group or company together. Everything you do for them, you see it as a favor, and they see it the same way because you pull no punches about it. You say that, okay, well, yeah, I pay your salary. I'm the reason you're going on tour. I'm the reason that you have a car. I'm the reason that your family eats. Okay, cool. But are you doing anything for them to maybe make them a little bit more independent? No, you're not. You like the fact that they're dependent upon you. You like the fact that you wake up and 30 people are hungry until you decide they're not hungry anymore. I don't think that's very cool. And if you do that, I don't think you're very cool. Number 3, excessive expenditures. In hip hop, I mean, yes, it happens a lot. It's just most of us come from nothing. So we get something. And not only do we have to get that something, we have to get more. We have to make up for what we didn't have. And it's understandable, so to speak. You get a little older and hopefully it starts, making a lot less sense. But, some of us don't grow up as much as others. Excessive expenditures, I'm not just talking about jewelry. I'm talking about multiple houses, multiple cars, per diems that, match people's yearly income, monthly income for some artists. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why? I'm not trying to be the guy, invest your money and blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the invest your money guy. I am the, are you buying a depreciating asset? What's your limit on that depreciating asset? It's basically you're burning money. You're just burning it slow. So if you're burning money and you're burning it slow, it's still going. It's not an investment. You're not making money from it. So excessive expenditures. You're in a group. You're the big man. Let's say you're the CEO. Let's say you're the COO, or you're an executive. You don't run the company, but you have a piece that you run. How many houses do you need before maybe the person 2 levels or 3 levels under you gets their first one? How many cars do you need before the person 2 or 3, 4 levels under you no longer has to, rent a car or take an, ride share to work? It's just something to think about. I mean, I think it's pretty clear, but it needs to be addressed. Number 3, again, excessive expenditures. Chill. Number 4. Number 4 is not grooming members to be leaders. So this kind of goes into the whole egotistical thing, trying to hold on to that power of, I am the reason you are here. I am the reason you're eating. I'm the reason you're living. This is not the way, because there's a great chance that you'll need them in the future more than they will need you. And that's a good thing, because you're giving them the opportunity to pay back or give back what you gave them. And ego doesn't belong in there. So, quick example, I would say, using Bad Boy as an example. So, some people know the story. Diddy worked for Andre Harrell. It's his first job. He was a runner. He, worked his way up. Ended up working with Mary and Jodeci. Pulled away, started Bad Boy. Cool. Years later, Andre Harrell, no longer with Uptown, then goes and works with Puffy. Perfect, right? Groomed him, showed him the business, wanted to, stay in the business, and then worked with, somebody he actually brought up and gave opportunity to later on. That's how it's supposed to work. There's nothing wrong with that formula. So if you, are up and coming and maybe you are the big dog in the team, it doesn't matter if you're not a multi-millionaire, but you're the big dog, you're the lead dog, you're the big homie. Everybody looks towards you. That person or them people that are staying around you are looking at you as the leader. A leader grooms leaders. If you're not grooming any leaders, then you're not a leader. You're just a person who, gets off on somebody following you. And that's not exactly what we have in mind when we're talking leaders. So if you're running a music industry company, it could be marketing, it could be an actual music company, it can be a production company, whatever it is. Take your team, which is probably not that big anyway, and see what their strengths are, see what they can be, If you see that they can be better, push them to be better. If you see that can be just as good, make them a little better than that. If you see that they're not leaders, which we'll get into next, there's something also you should do. So, number 4, issue not grooming people to be leaders. Number 5, not recognizing the value of non-leaders. So yeah, nobody can say, okay, I'm going to make you a leader. If that person's not ready to be a leader, doesn't desire to be a leader, doesn't have what it takes to be a leader. So what do you do with them? Well, you'll always need employees. You'll always need very loyal people around you. Those are them people. The people who say, oh, well, I work very good in the background. I don't need to be in front of the camera, or I don't need to be the artist in the front. I don't want to be an executive. Being an executive is just not something that I want to do, but I enjoy working for this company. I love this company. I'll do anything for this company. So what do you do with them? That's like a treasure. What more do you want than a loyal employee? And actually a loyal employee who doesn't really want to run anything. They just want to be a part of the movement. Those are your best people. I mean, the leaders are going to go. The leaders you groom eventually are either going to run what you are running or leave to run something else that you actually help them get to the point of being able to run. So the people who are not leaders, don't just forsake them and just throw them to the wayside. You don't want to throw them to the wayside. What you want to do is you want to say, okay, these are my most loyal employees. These are my most loyal people in my group. They're going to be around forever. They will probably sink with the ship if we ever start to sink. That's who you want. That's who you need. So don't discard them. That's number 5. So 6 and 7 are some things that I came up with now. So those who, are not aware, I've been writing blogs for about a year now. And what I'm doing in this Drills Talk series is I'm going back a year. And I'm reading over the blogs I wrote a year ago. And every Wednesday, I'm actually publishing a video that goes back 1 year to the blog I wrote. So what I'm doing now is, okay, in that whole year, do you feel the same? Is there anything extra? And then I'm just verbalizing that. So these 2 are the extras that I've, added based on that year of being in the industry and being independent, and, that's just what it is. So no checks and balances. That's number 6. No checks and balances is, what I say goes. Now, if you run the company, technically what you say goes, but you should have friends or employees that you really value and you value their opinion. If you can make a decision and it's the wrong decision, and you have someone who can come up to you and say, hey, that's really not going to work out, and these are the reasons why it's not going to work out. You need those people. And if you're going to basically scare those people away from ever doing that, there's no checks and balances. You can make a bad decision and people will smile in your face and watch it blow up right in that same face. So that's not what you need. You need a checks and balances. You need your people to be comfortable coming to you and saying, hey, this is not going to work, and this is why. Or this could work, but this would work better. This is why you have people around you. Like it's not that fun to be the end all be all, because there's no other ideas. There's no other thought process. There's no thinking outside the box, because even your outside the box could be inside someone else's. You need other people to probably take you somewhere where otherwise you wouldn't go. So checks and balances is number 6. Number 7, dishonest family talk. And this is something that we see a lot of. So it's, such and such forever. These are my family. We're going to be together forever. Ride or die, blah, blah, blah. And when it comes to money or moving up in the industry or getting a certain amount of money, no longer family. Family over. And that's because the family talk was dishonest in the first place. You didn't believe that was your family. That's just something you said, but other people believed in it. Other people bought in. So how are they supposed to take you treating it like a business 5 years after, when 5 years before you guys were brothers? You're going to be together forever. If they need anything, just call you. And now they call and it goes straight to voicemail. Or now they call and it's not even your number anymore. Um, that's because it was dishonest family talk. I think that's terrible. I've worked in multiple companies where there's, a bunch of dishonest family talk. And, just for information's sake, before I got, 100% into the music industry and started doing YouTube and writing blogs and was 100%, independent artist, I was a uh, consultant, worked with, the big four companies, and those who are in consulting, you can fill in those big four. But basically I worked with Fortune 500 companies. I would see exactly what was going on, different coaches everywhere, of course, but that family talk really kind of reared its ugly head a lot. And I knew just from being a consultant that, one, the team I'm even in or working with at that time wouldn't be together 6 months down the line. So, people use it as a team building, tool, but it's it's more dangerous than good, because you have people who know better and saying, okay, well, this is just something they're saying, as opposed to the people who may be a little younger or maybe a little naive, believe that 100%. And when it's time to move, they don't understand how to move. They don't understand why things are moving. It's because that, family doesn't go anywhere. You're born with that family's still there. So if you believe that this new group that you're in, this company you're working for is family, it ending is just not part of your thought process. So that's my 7. We're going to recap this 7. So we're going to say 1, money distribution. 2, egotistical leaders. 3, excessive expenditures. 4, not grooming members to be leaders. 5, not recognizing the value of non-leaders. 6, no checks and balances. 7, dishonest family talk. Let's stay away from it. Thanks. First episode of Drills Talk. If you did enjoy, please like, please subscribe. This is YouTube. We know what to do now. Like, subscribe, bell if you want to know exactly when I release the videos. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Drills Talk. It's drills.com. Check this out. It's Drills.